Good evening. On behalf of the entire United States delegation, I want to thank Prime Minister Major for convening today's conference and Foreign Secretary Rifkin for his very skillful chairmanship. None of us is under any illusions about today's meeting. By now, we're all too aware that no conference, including this one, can end the war and suffering in the former Yugoslavia. But what a conference of this kind can do is to focus our minds on how we can best contribute to alleviating suffering and achieving a negotiated settlement. This conference has served as a decision-forcing event. As I told my colleagues today, the entire world is watching us, waiting to see if the West will answer the Bosnian Serbs' outrageous aggression. We face a very simple and stark choice. Either the international community rapidly takes firm steps to fulfill its mission in Bosnia, or its mission will collapse. Today, we have agreed on several actions which, if vigorously implemented, offer a real opportunity to reassert the international community's role in Bosnia. Let me stress the obvious. To have any chance of success, the decisions made today must be translated quickly into reality on the ground. President Clinton and the United States are determined to do so. The international community and the people of Bosnia simply cannot afford any more empty threats. Gorazde will be defended. Bosnian Serb leaders are now on notice that an attack against Gorazde will be met by substantial and decisive air power. Secretary Perry and General Shalikashvili can speak more fully on the military aspects of the plan, but let me make just a couple of points. Any air campaign in Gorazde will include significant attacks on significant targets. There will be no more pinprick strikes. Moreover, existing command and control arrangements for use of NATO air power will be significantly adjusted to ensure that responsiveness and unity of purpose are achieved. The new system is a much improved system. Third, we will take steps to stabilize the situation in Sarajevo. Its people must be fed. French and British troops from the Rapid Reaction Force will take action to open and secure humanitarian access routes. At the same time, we agreed more broadly on the need to fulfill the United Nations' other mandates, including that in the other safe areas. In this regard, we're especially concerned about the escalating Bosnian Serb attacks in Bihać. Fourth, we agreed on the need to support ongoing efforts to address Bosnia's deep humanitarian needs, which have certainly been exacerbated by the fighting in Srebrenica and Zepa. We intend, and we're urging others, to increase our contribution, especially in advance of the coming winter. Fifth, we reaffirmed our belief that the conflict in Yugoslavia can only be resolved by a political settlement. Today, we received an update from the European Union's representative, Carl Bildt, and we underscored our support for his work. Tonight, the contact group ministers will be meeting with Mr. Bildt to review his political efforts.
No, I think you're right. It is important to understand that these are not just responses against the initial provocation, but an air campaign consists of a wide range of targets throughout a broad zone of operations. And that is a significant departure from the way air power was used before.
We all understood that the success of a sustained air campaign depended on it being sustained, and therefore it could not be deterred or interrupted by hostage taking if that were to occur. We cannot let a policy be hostage to the taking of hostages.
The situation in Bihać is, as it has been before, not always entirely clear who's doing the attacking and what the circumstances are. We'll be watching that very carefully. I think today's meeting indicates a new level of concern about the situation in Bosnia as a whole. We addressed what we thought was the principal current threat. We'll certainly be following Bihać. As I said in my statement, we're very concerned about the escalating attacks there and be following it with great care.
What is the message to the Serbs? What is the new message to the Serbs? UK?
Well, the new message to the Serbs is that if you attack, first the message to the Serbs is you should not attack Gorazde. We're issuing a very strong, stern warning to them, which will be communicated in ways in addition to this particular press conference or Foreign Secretary Rifkin's press conference. But beyond that, we're saying that if you do attack, you're going to pay an extremely heavy price.
What price?
That's for, I think we'll leave that to their consideration and imagination, but I think...
Do you think they're quite in their boots, as somebody else put it earlier at another press conference?
If they're well advised, they will not attack Gorazde because they will pay a very heavy price.
In the event airstrikes are authorized, was it discussed in such explicit detail, and did you get agreement on that point?
First of all, we are not proposing to conduct an air campaign. We're proposing to threaten an air campaign to stop, to deter any action that the Bosnian Serbs might take to attack Gorazde. We hope that will be successful. It is not successful. We're prepared to conduct a sustained air campaign. We understand, everybody at the meeting understands, there would be substantial risks in doing that. The risk would be to the air crews conducting the campaign. The risk would be involved to UN forces on the ground. The risk would be to even to civilians who are in the area of the targets. Those are inherent risks in air campaigns. We all agreed that that was an unattractive option, and the only reason we are going to proceed with that option is because the alternatives seemed even more unattractive to us. The alternative of letting Gorazde fall, which would drive the UNPROFOR out of Bosnia, would result in a humanitarian catastrophe of great proportions. And therefore, balancing risks, we believe that these risks were far preferable to the risk of allowing Gorazde to fall.